holy crap, this guy made $7,000 yesterday, before he ate breakfast. and the reason why he did is because it's all demo. Hey, it's Walter here, and you're at the Think Profit podcast, where we're going to help you develop a rock-solid trading confidence and avoid the potentially endless cycle of system switching. Right, Hugh?
That's right. We're going to help you develop a wealth mindset, develop a trading strategy that fits your core personality, and help you overcome the obstacles that stop over 90% of traders.
All right, Hugh, sounds good. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do this. Hey, Walter, today we could talk about performance envy.
Performance envy.
You look at all these traders that are supposedly successful or whatever on Instagram, or like you see some actual results or whatever, and you get envious and you're kind of trying to catch up or whatever. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a really good point. There are two things I would say about that. Number one, do you know the old, you've probably heard of this, but it's the old, what they used to do for like stock tip newsletters. There was a trick that they would run to get subscribers. Have you heard of this? It's
No.
like where they send. So what they do, and this, they can do this online too, and I'll talk about that. But basically what they used to do, and the reason why I'm thinking of this, because my friend just asked me this question this week. He's getting into trading, and he's like, man, these guys are new. They just started trading last month, and they're already making this amount and all that. And he's like, what's going on here? And I said, well, you got to know the old stock tip newsletter hack. So what they would do is they get these mailing lists, right? And they would send out free stock tips, buy Apple, buy Google, whatever. But half of them would get a buy recommendation, half would get a sell. And then the ones that did well, they would keep sending them. And they would split it buy and sell. So basically what happened is that after a few months, they would have a certain fraction of their mailing list that had like unbelievable, like 100%, you know what I mean? Like everyone, they couldn't go wrong. So then they signed up for the paid subscription. And that's what people do online too. So here's a couple of tips. So when you look at these guys like on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and to a degree also on YouTube, what you'll see is like these guys posting these outrageous, screenshots, right? And so what a couple of things to look for are, I think in MetaTrader, if it's a demo account, I think the order number starts with a 1. So if you see that, right away,
Yeah.
that's bullshit, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And the other one is like, you'll get these guys that are doing like 100 lot trades. Okay. If you have a 100 lot trade and there's no slippage, like it's bang on hitting your 9 pip profit target or whatever they're going for, then it's also like that's not real, right? That's a demo account. So it's only on a demo account that you don't get the slippage, because 100 lots is about as much as you can do in retail Forex.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get those through, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, you can go CurrentX and stuff like that. You can step it up, but really, if you're looking at these, especially on Instagram, like they're famous for it, right? And Facebook, you'll see these guys and they're posting their screenshots like, holy crap, this guy made $7,000 yesterday, before he ate breakfast. and the reason why he did is because it's all demo. And they can do the same thing that I was talking about, the stock tip newsletter thing. What they do is they have multiple demo accounts. Buying the euro, selling the euro, and they just keep doing that. And then eventually they'll have like a demo account that's like unbelievable, right? Because they just keep, and so that's the same thing. So you just have to be wary of that, I think. And I mean, it's like finding a friend, right? Like if you're trying to find a friend, there's certain things that you like in them. And I think that's the same thing with your trading mentor. Like there's certain people that you kind of jive with and you're like, I get where this person's coming from. It makes sense.
Yeah.
This is what I need to work on, right? I mean, that's what it is. It's not, I mean, I'm not here to bag against other mentors. There's some really great mentors out there. They just have different approaches and they have different personalities and they structure their lessons in a different way. So it's really more about you finding a good match based on that, rather than looking for the guy with the best demo account on the internet. You know what I mean? Like that's not going to help you, right?
Yeah.
So that's my thought anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually really easy to just also cherry pick only the winning trades, right?
Of course. Yeah.
So that's what I see a lot in their accounts. Like, oh, this guy's winning every week, but he has no losers. What the heck? So
yeah, it's so funny, man.
Hey there, I hope you're finding this episode useful. I just wanted to let you know that Walter and I give away something valuable every month that helps traders improve their skills. You can enter to win by simply leaving an iTunes review and leaving a comment on our YouTube videos. At the end of each month, we'll look at the comments and reviews from the month, and we'll pick a winner at random. Each comment and each review counts for 1 entry during the month that it's submitted. So if you're interested in that, be sure to enter after this podcast is over. All right, back to the episode.
And as far as the jealousy part of it, I guess, which is the other thing you're talking about, I think that comes with a lot of self-reflection, like knowing who you are. Like
Yeah.
it's easy for me. For example, I've had a bunch of losing trades in a row the last couple of weeks. Although yesterday I got one that looks like it's going to work out, which is great. It's great to get back on the horse and all that. But it's easy sometimes when your confidence is low, when you're in a losing streak, to think things like, oh man, if I was just trading, the 1 hour chart instead of the daily chart, I would have been able to get in and out, and and those sorts of things come up, especially when your confidence is low. So I think for me, it's really more about knowing who you are as a trader and locking into that rather than trying to be someone else. And so, you really want to early on define, okay, look, I've got a job. I'm home at 7:30 p.m. So that means I'll check the charts, at 9, from 9 to 10, I'll check the charts. I'll put my orders in. The next morning at 5:30, when I get up in the morning, I'll check my trades, maybe move to break even or whatever I need to do to manage them. You kind of have to set your life around that. Or you're like, oh, I'm retired. I'm 65. I've got all this time. Maybe I will trade the New York Open, and maybe I will get up early in the morning and just, you know what I mean? So it's really more about, knowing yourself, knowing what kind of lifestyle you want to have as a trader. Because it's hard to trade the lower time frame charts. Like, it's hard. It's not only is it addictive and that affects your brain, but also it's hard to like maintain that much focus for that long. It's like being a pro athlete, literally. Like, you have to be so on it all the time. That's why a lot of those people who trade the lower time frames, they take big breaks. They take breaks during the day. They take breaks during the year. They take a lot of time off where they just unplug because they realize the importance of being really on it, on their game when you're executing. Execution becomes so critical when you're trading those in and out trades, those scalping type trades that everyone thinks are so sexy. Yeah.
And I think they also limit themselves, right, to like 1 or 2 hours a day sometimes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, I think trading seems deceptively easy. Like, people think, oh yeah, you just learn the system and then you just make all this money. But then in reality, it's not that simple. And then you beat yourself up about, oh, I can't make the system work, and then you go down that rabbit hole, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. That is the biggest misconception of trading, I think, is what you nailed it, is in the beginning it's about the system. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's about you. Like, it's about you and how you execute the system. So that's why, for example, you'll go on the Free Factory forums and you'll find people saying, someone gets on there and says, this system works brilliant. I've been making lots of money, blah, blah, blah. Here it is. Hey guys, do you want to make it into an EA or, or improve it or something? They usually say, I want to improve it, or I want to, automate it because I hate sitting around the chart, looking at the charts all day. That's usually how it starts. And then other people get on there and they'll look through it. They'll test it out. They might even trade it live. And they'll go, dude, this sucks. It doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Okay, why is that? You know what I mean? Like, why, how can we both have the same thing and not in that? And that's the same reason why you can't go by the trader that has the best track record and say, that's what I want to do. Because they might not trade in a way that makes sense to you, and you might not have enough time to trade the way they do or whatever. Or maybe they're trading the London Open and you're sleeping during the London Open, mm-hmm. or what, you know what I mean? So it really comes down to, you are the system. Yeah. And so, as you know, a lot of work you do is going to be on making sure that you follow the rules, that you are in a good mindset, that you are in a situation where the easiest path for you to follow is to actually follow the rules of the strategy. Like that's what you want. You don't want it to be where a different path is easier. Yeah.
And like you say, I think it really comes down to knowing yourself and taking control of the situation. A lot of times I think too many traders try to pass the buck onto the system or the mentor or the trading buddy or whatever. But if you take responsibility, then that's when things start to change, right?
Yeah. It's not the broker's fault. Exactly. It's not your mentor's fault.
They're not
it's not the system's fault. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
all right,
that's
cool.
right.
Thanks, Walter.
Thanks.
All information in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not trading or investment advice.